Okay, YouTube, so you're used to seeing our gay family values videos, which we were motivated to start making. Back when Prop 8 was going on here in California, we thought it was very important that people got to see what it is for two gay men to raise children and to show basically how normal and boring our family is compared to everyday people who are living their lives here in California. So once we started making those videos, we got a lot of questions. We've gotten so many questions, it's becoming kind of hard to answer. So, and they're all very good questions and very valid questions. So we decided to start making new videos called Ask a Gay Family. And basically what we want to do with these videos is allow you guys to ask us questions that you may have. And sometimes we get a lot of the same questions. So this way it'll be a way for people, we can refer to you to a question maybe we've already answered. Not that we don't enjoy answering all the individual questions, because we love that.
And the questions not only go to us, but they can go to the kids too, provided they're, appropriate.
Age appropriate. And me and Brian are very open to questions too, as long as they're appropriate to us. So I guess the first question we decided to answer, which I'll let Brian answer in a minute, but we get a lot of, is people ask about Daniel.
Hi.
They ask about his disabilities, if he's got medical problems, if he's got learning disabilities, if he has anything wrong with him. Because I think sometimes people see in the video, they see some of his scars,
Yep.
and they hear he's got a little bit of a lisp, he's got a little bit of a, sometimes when he speaks it's hard to understand. So I'll let Brian take over that.
So Daniel has something called golden Haar syndrome, and that's actually caused by drug exposure in the womb. And how it has affected Daniel is that everything on the left-hand side of his body is underdeveloped in relationship to the right-hand side of his body. So one leg is shorter than the other, and you see that a little bit in his walk. His jaw didn't develop quite right on that side. He actually had a cleft lip when he was born that was repaired. Now people with golden Haar have varying symptoms. Some people have skin tags. Sometimes the whole ear can be completely grown over, and it takes a lot of surgeries to repair that. Daniel luckily had a pretty mild version for what could happen. And he's had a lot of surgeries in his life and had a rough start already.
Yep.
But Daniel's a champ, and he gets through it, and it rolls off his water, like water off a duck's back.
So what did we do today, Daniel? Do you know where we spent the morning?
In San Francisco, I met a team of doctors that helped me with my surgeries. Thank you, doctors.
He has a great team of doctors at the Craniofacial Clinic in San Francisco. And they do all of their, Daniel's had 3 major surgeries since he's been with us. They've corrected his throat. They've done some facial work. He's come a long way since we adopted him.
Yep.
He's a completely different boy now than when we first adopted him. And they're an excellent team of doctors, and they do all this work for free. I mean, it's basically people donate money to the UCSF, and that covers Daniel's expenses when it comes to his surgeries.
And plus certain things like California Children's Services, which also does a lot of that, and we couldn't do it if it wasn't for all these people. So we're very thankful to them to have those services. So that was a little hard time, but Daniel's got a really bright spirit and a really strong personality, and he always puts himself out there. And once people get to know him, then he's everybody's best friend. So.
Anything else you'd like to say about your condition?
My heart is under my armpit.
Yeah, Daniel, everything on his left side is underdeveloped, which means that instead of his heart ending up in his chest, it's somewhere over on this side. His lung, or his, lung, is a little bit, what do they call it?
Underdeveloped. It's a little
Underdeveloped.
smaller on one side.
I think it's hypo, something like that. That's what they call it.
One day he's going to have a surgery when he's in his teen years to put a little metal piece in his left leg to stop, or in the right leg, to stop that leg from growing so that the left leg has a chance to catch up. And then when they're the same length, they'll take the metal piece out and let both of them grow normally. So he had what's called a G-tube, which is where they feed you directly into your stomach through the side. So we call it the second belly button.
You want to see that real quick?
He's the boy with 2 belly buttons.
Yep, there it is.
Oh.
Kind of cute.
That is not funny.
So I think that pretty much wraps that up. I mean, Daniel, well, mentally, very much on track. He's always been kindergarten, first grade, always been above everybody else in this class, very
Yep.
bright, very smart. So luckily, sometimes golden HAR does affect brain activity, but Daniel's a very bright kid, very smart. Sometimes I think too smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you guys wave goodbye to YouTube and we're
Bye.
Okay. So go play. Okay, YouTube. We're back, and part two to this episode of Ask a Gay Family is there's a few people online, well, quite a few people online that like to constantly, go to our videos and make negative comments, and no matter how our family seems, we always come back to the same argument. And I think there's one who's lately been tagging a lot of our videos, and his name is Gary Sure 3. So it's Gary Sure 3, and he said, "I know what it takes to be a parent, and I know children deserve to have both a mother and a father in a loving, stable home." We get that a lot, and I think as gay parents, we are parents, and we are parents every day of our lives now. I mean, we are raising two beautiful children who are happy, healthy, and stable. We have a very committed, loving relationship. We're doing everything we can as parents, and I don't think, when people make statements like that, it's almost like, a Disney theme of what a family should be. Because honestly, in a perfect world, the best thing for Daniel and Selena would be to be with their biological mother and father. In a perfect world where mothers care about their children, where they don't have drug problems, where they don't give their son medical problems, as you saw, and that's why we had the kids leave. Daniel has tons of medical issues caused by his mother's drug use, caused by the neglect that his biological mother and father did. And I think sometimes that people need to understand that we don't live in that perfect world where every child can have a mother and a father. Do I think that my kids miss that relationship with a biological mother? Of course. Who doesn't want to have a relationship with their mother? Who doesn't want, Daniel has a very, very, do you want to say that?
And we understand one day that when they get old enough, that's something they're going to be very conscious of and that they're going to reach out for. And I think part of being a good adoptive parent is understanding that to a certain degree and not be threatened by that as a parent. Because they're going to want to find their dad, they're going to want to find their mom, their brothers, their sisters, and we want to be there to help them fill in those pieces of themselves when it's time for them to do that.
So we spent a lot of time responding to people with that opinion on, basically that kids should have a mother and father. And we usually go through the same things we just talked about here. In a perfect world, we agree with them 100%. In a perfect world, it would be great for Daniel and Selena to be with their biological parents. So his response was, they could have easily been adopted by a man and a woman. That would have been as nature intended. Now, Daniel, my son, sat in foster care for 3 years. He was there because nobody wanted to adopt Daniel. Daniel has tons of medical conditions, and no man and woman wanted to take my son into their home. He's been in foster care since he was 2 years old. Okay, that's when he was taken away from his biological mother and father. He had a younger brother named Emilio that was placed with him in foster care as a baby. That baby in California, if a sibling set is not adopted together, after a year, they split them apart. So little Emilio was placed with my son Daniel for a year, from being infant born to 12 months old. No family in California, no man and woman family, wanted to take those two boys and give them a home. So Emilio was adopted away from a man and a woman, and they are currently raising him as their biological child. Okay? Now our son Daniel was left in the foster care system.
Without his brother now.
Without a brother, let
Wondering
alone
where his brother went and why he's not with him.
let alone a mother, biological mother and father. Then little Selena was born. Okay? Now the mother is no longer legally allowed to have children in her home. So little Selena was born, and at 1 month old, she was placed with her brother, because the law states that if there's any siblings in foster care in California, that the new child is placed with the current child. So my daughter Selena was placed with Daniel in foster care. Now when Selena was about 11 and a half months old, her time was coming close to being separated from Daniel. Daniel was what they considered a hard to place child, hard to adopt. So their social worker saw our profile in, of course, where we live in Northern California, and wrote us a wonderful letter asking us to please, please come meet these beautiful children. Because Daniel was about to lose another sibling. Selena was about to be removed from his home and was about to be adopted by a man and a woman. Okay, and I know that there are a lot of people, no matter what we say, no matter how we portray ourselves as a family, think that there's no way that our kids can be happy, healthy, secure, loved. And that's why we're making these videos. That's why we make our gay family values videos, because I think you can see our kids. They look happy, loved, safe, taken care of, provided for. I know that they've made mine and Brian's life immensely better. I can't even imagine not being a father anymore.
And the thing that really irritates me about that comment is, fantastic. If you're the person making that comment and you're a heterosexual couple, get your butt down there to county adoptions and take in a kid. There are tons of kids sitting there right now, wishing
and books
hoping
and books of children
for a home.
What's up, sweetie?
Look at my new ball.
Okay, sweet cheeks, give me a few minutes, okay?
But look
I
at
know, we're making a video. We'll give you a few minutes. We'll be in there in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'll be in there in a few seconds.
It's real easy to stand on a soapbox
Daniel, please go.
and thump about all this stuff, but it's really not fair to the kids who are sitting down there right now. I always tell the story about there was a kid who was almost aging out of the system and still in a foster home, and the folks in the foster home wanted to adopt him, but because it was a gay couple and it was one of those states that didn't allow it, they wouldn't allow him to adopt this child, and they fought it in the courts, and finally, after he turned 18, the court allowed the adoption. And I remember seeing this 18-year-old man now break down and cry, because he thought, even though now he's at the age where he can go out and start his own life, now he had parents. A forever family is what we talk about it in adoption circles. But it meant so much for him to have that connection and that belonging, even as he's getting ready to go out to the world on his own.
And to people like you that think that you would rather see a man and a woman adopt children, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of children in California foster care system. A lot of them have medical issues. Me and Brian were open to kids with medical issues. We knew that there were children out there that were not adoptable by heterosexual men and women. Because the sad fact is, not all, and I'm not blanket stating it, but most heterosexual couples want a baby. Most couples want a baby. So if you're a child, between the ages of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, it's hard to adopt. They're hard. And then to put medical conditions like Daniel has, where every year he has to go through surgery, it's almost impossible to find a family that's willing to take these children. And I think when people come at us and they leave comments like that, they're really not thinking through it. And I challenge all of those people to look within inside their heart and say, do we have room in our home? Are we able to take a child who has maybe some medical issues that needs love, needs a family? Because if you guys are out there, you should be adopting these children,
And it's not easy. We've seen a few people back out during the process because sometimes it can be hard on the heart, Getting attached to kids sometimes who have so much hurt inside their heart that it's hard for them to love back. It can be a hard road. It can also be very beautiful and very rewarding in so many ways.
So we should probably wrap this up because it's getting kind of long, but I do want to end this episode. It's our first episode of Ask a Gay Family, and we're going to be making, like I said, we have hundreds of questions that people have been sending in to us, so I think this is definitely needed. I think it's been very surprising and shocking to me and Brian that there's not other people on YouTube posting videos about their families, because I think that people need to see gay families. They need to understand that we're living our lives day to day like they do, and I think that is truly the door to acceptance. I think it's important that if you're out there, if you're a gay family and you have children and you're watching our videos, if you could just make one video, make a video about your dinner, make a video about a birthday party, and put it on YouTube, put it out there, let people see your lives. Let them know that we're no different than anybody else. And on that, to end this video, we'll be doing these videos once a week. Please feel free to send us questions, anything you want to know about me, Brian, and the kids, within reason, of course. And we will try to answer them. We'll be doing these videos once a week.
But as we stated, we were going to state, if you could put it as a video response, that's even better,
Yeah.
because then we could put it in the video.
And that'd be cool. So, you know, as you can tell with me and Brian, we're pretty amateur filmmakers here. So if you guys could do, you know, if you send us a video question, you'll get first priority. And I mean, I think we'll have a lot of fun answering those, because we love seeing our fellow YouTubers. We love meeting you guys. We like seeing you. And we're just as much fan of your guys. I mean, please keep the questions coming. Keep commenting, you know, and rating our videos, because we get a lot of, I don't like to say haters, but people who are anti-gay families leave a lot of negative comments, and they downrate our videos a lot. So you, by commenting and rating, you're basically, you know, keeping them, I don't know, yeah, at a decent level. What was that?
That's brushing it off. Brushing it off.
So I guess we'll say goodbye, and we look forward to hearing what you think about our first Ask a Gay Family.